Welcome back to High Stakes. Today, we will be discussing the following NCAAF matches that is happening on Sunday, September 24th, 2023. We will be providing our team, total, and prop picks for the day. Before we get started, please remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. If you want access to our premium picks, you can check out our Patreon page. You can find the link to our Patreon page in the description and comment section below. New Orleans Saints vs. Green Bay Packers. Take the Packers to win and cover. The Packers were on their way to a 2-0 start when they entered the fourth quarter, leading the Falcons 24-12. The Falcons then scored 13 unanswered points to win the game by 1. Atlanta's rookie running back Bijan Robinson looked like a future star with 124 rushing yards and 48 receiving yards to cut up the Packers' defense. The Packers could have secured the win by scoring in the fourth. Quarterback Jordan Love spoke about the late struggles, saying, "It just comes down to execution and being better in the fourth quarter and being able to play a full game." Green Bay has been playing well on the road this season and will win their home opener here against a team struggling with injuries and suspensions. The Packers will be able to sit back on defense and focus on the air attack because the Saints are running out of players to run the ball. Kamara is still out, Jamal Williams has a hamstring injury, and the Packers are not going to fall for the Taysom Hill QB sneaks. Hill has only thrown one pass so far. The defense knows he plans on running, so they can send extra linebackers to shut him down. Jordan Love has been playing mistake-free football so far. He has no interceptions and has made the best of his young receiving core while Watson returns from injury. Aaron Jones is still banged up for the Packers, but A.J. Dillon is a capable NFL running back who will far outperform any practice squad players the Saints try to hand the ball to. The Packers will win the battle up front and pick up a win in their home debut. Also take the over. The offseason headlines focused on the Saints' acquisition of Derek Carr, and rightfully so, as the team needed a quarterback, but the defense has carried the way early on. The defense did not surrender a touchdown in their first 7 quarters of action, until finally giving one up to Carolina's Adam Thielen with a minute left in the game. The Saints' defense only allowed 153 passing yards from Bryce Young and will look to do the same against another young quarterback in Jordan Love. The Saints lost a member of their secondary as Marcus May was recently suspended 3 games for a substance violation. Jordan Love has been running Coach LaFleur's offense well and limiting errors. He has not thrown an interception all season. The Pack may also return Aaron Jones and Christian Watson this week. If they can play, they will add to an offense that was already scoring well. New Orleans will have to lean on the passing game this week due to their thin backfield. Carr has options with Olave, Shaheed, and Thomas on the perimeter, which should allow the Saints to move quickly on their scoring drives. This number is too low. Take the over in Green Bay. Denver Broncos vs. Miami Dolphins. Denver plus 6.5. The Broncos jumped out to a 14-3 lead at the end of the first quarter, but the previously vaunted defense allowed 21 second-half points and gave up 14 in the fourth quarter in less than 7 minutes to lose to Washington at home 35-33. Jerry Jeudy was featured after missing Week 1, but his impact was minimal. The defense forced 2 fumbles but was unable to recover either. Denver's offense has been able to move the ball this season, sitting 7th in yards per play with 5.5. The trouble with the offense has been their inability to move the sticks on third downs. Denver currently sits in the bottom half of the league in third down efficiency, and they were held to just 4-12 against Washington. The offense has also stalled when they've moved inside the red zone. They came away with a touchdown on just 2 to 4 trips inside the 20 against Washington, and on the season, that conversion number has been 57%, which is 18th in the NFL. New HC Sean Payton, he's elected to let Russell Wilson air the ball out. While he's thrown at a higher-than-league average completion rate and depth of target, Wilson tends to hold onto the ball too long and get sacked. The new addition to the backfield, Javonte Williams, has been a serviceable, if average, tailback. He's yet to log his first rushing touchdown and is generating right under 4 yards per carry, though his long has been just 15 yards. The offensive line would have to get more of a push up front if the Broncos want to keep up with the pace of the Dolphins. On the defensive side of the football, the Broncos are giving up 26 points per game. This is a far cry from one of the league's top defenses a season ago. They've been playing a bend, don't break defensive philosophy, choosing to not get beat over the top. However, this hasn't translated into the red zone. Washington was perfect inside the 20 last week, and on the season Denver sits 24th in opponent red zone success. What's more, they allowed Sam Howell to toss for nearly 300 yards and forced no interceptions. Miami has a stronger receiver core than the Commanders, and that could spell trouble if Denver is not able to disrupt the backfield. Speaking of the backfield, Denver hasn't been able to wreak havoc all that often, but they got to Howell 4 times. Most of these sacks came from well-timed blitzes by the linebacker core. Denver will need to get to Tagovailoa quickly here, or they risk getting beat over the top. The Broncos have been a hard team to trust, and once again entered the season with preseason hype. They haven't met those expectations, but Sean Payton has a proven track record and will keep his team focused. The Dolphins are coming off a divisional road win and may not have the number 2 receiver, Waddle. Along with that, starting tackle, Terron Armstead appears to be a game-time decision. Denver should be able to move the ball on the ground here, and the lack of success in the red zone by Miami's defense should allow Wilson to connect with his strong receiving core. I expect Denver to keep it close here. Also take over 47.5 points. Miami continued to silence the critics, this time on the road against a divisional opponent, New England. Raheem Mostert ran for 2 scores and 121 yards on the ground. Tua Tagovailoa tossed for a touchdown and an interception. The defense came up with a key stop on 4th and 4 in the fourth quarter that sealed the game and ended the Patriots' last-ditch effort. The Dolphins' offense picked up where they left off a season ago, utilizing their speed on the edge to get over the defense and open the field. QB Tua Tagovailoa hasn't been the most accurate passer in the league, but the weapons he can throw have made up for this. His completion rate sits 18th in football, but he has the longest depth per completion out of all quarterbacks. The Dolphins have, again, not been a very run-centric offense, but they should against New England that they can attack on the ground if the defense gives it to them. It's not hard to imagine that Denver will have a similar defensive approach so as not to get beaten by speedsters Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Waddle was not a participant at Thursday's practice, and he's currently carrying a questionable tag into kickoff. New DC Vic Fangio has implemented his philosophy fairly well in the early goings of the season. Fangio's defensive strength is limiting the opponent's downfield threats, and his defense held both the Chargers and Patriots in check. That could be the case again here as the Dolphins allow just 5.3 yards per completed catch, but have allowed opposing QBs to complete at a 72% clip, which is 28th in the league. The Dolphins have elected to defend the pass effectively, which has resulted in foes finding success on the ground. On the season, Miami is giving up 4.9 yards per tote, which is bottom 5 in football. Along with giving up the ground attack, the Dolphins sit 30th in opponent third down efficiency and 30th in opponent red zone success. Denver hasn't been keen on coming away with scores in the red zone this season, but the Dolphins bear the risk of giving up scores as Denver sits 6th in touchdowns per contest. Neither of these red zone defenses have been trustworthy, and likewise, neither defense has proven they can get off the field on third down. Denver and Miami, both, are sitting top 10 in yards per play, and the defensive lapses in the red zone should allow the offenses to find success here. Miami likes to run an up-tempo offense, and Denver has the wide receivers to stretch the field and make the big play over the top. I expect both offenses to continue to find success here while neither defense appears to have found their footing. Buffalo Bills versus Washington Commanders. Take Buffalo to cover. The Bills are 1-1 to start the season. In their first game, they lost 22-16 in overtime to the Jets on the road. The offense struggled against New York with too many turnovers. But Buffalo bounced back with a convincing 38-10 win against the Raiders on Sunday, September 17th. The Raiders took a 7-0 lead over the Bills, but Buffalo responded with a 4-yard touchdown by Latavius Murray to tie the game early in the first quarter. The Bills would go on to outscore Las Vegas 31-3 in the final 3 quarters of the game. Buffalo also outscored the Raiders 17-0 in the second half. Josh Allen was excellent in the Week 2 game as he threw for 274 yards on 31 for 37 passing. He also tossed 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Gabe Davis led the team with 92 yards on 6 catches. Davis also secured a touchdown reception, too. Khalil Shakir and Dawson Knox also secured receiving touchdowns in the game, too. The ground game was also really good against Las Vegas. James Cook rushed for 123 yards on 17 carries as he averaged 7.2 yards per carry. Damian Harris added 33 yards and a touchdown, while Murray had the other touchdown with 22 yards on 6 carries. Through 2 games, Allen is completing 77% of his passes. He has tossed 4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions this season. Cook has been the lead back for the Bills this year. He is averaging 5.8 yards per carry. Stephon Diggs is still the lead wide receiver for the Bills, too. He went for just 66 yards on 7 catches against Las Vegas. On defense, Terrell Bernard leads the team with 17 tackles. Leonard Floyd leads the team with 1.5 sacks this year. Matt Milano has also earned 2 interceptions, which has helped the Bills take extra possessions. The Commanders are oozing confidence as they have started the season with a 2-0 record, but I think their first blemish will come at home on Sunday. Washington has gotten away with close wins over the Cardinals and Broncos, who many see as a part of the bottom tier for NFL teams this year. The Bills are looking to contend for the Super Bowl this year. After a tough start to the season where Allen did not look settled against the Jets, the Bills bounced back by dominating the Raiders at home. Allen will pass efficiently against the Commanders, who are giving up the 13th most points in the league so far. The rushing attack for Buffalo has been much improved as they have 3 running backs that will make an impact. Washington is allowing the 14th most rushing yards this year, which will be exploited on Sunday. The balance between running the ball and passing the ball for Buffalo will frustrate the Commanders as they stroll into the nation's capital with an easy win. Also take the over on Sunday. Both teams have hit the over and the under in each of their first 2 games to start the year. I think the over is going to hit in this game. This is a different Washington team offensively, but they still gave up 33 points in their last game, so defense appears to be a bit down. The Bills and Commanders have really focused on revamping their offense over the past few weeks, and it worked in Week 2 action. If last week is similar to this week, we should be in for an offensive-minded game.